Hey guys, it's Sarah. Today I want to talk to you about advice. Advice on advice. You might hear the cows on the farm. They're being loud today. And I'm going to be folding some laundry to get two things done at once. I think it's important to understand that there isn't anybody on this earth that can tell you exactly what to do. I know we all kind of want to find a guru or someone to follow, YouTubers that seem perfect, that have all the answers to life. They exuberate confidence. It just feels good to be able to follow something and know that you're doing something that worked for somebody else. And um, it's easy to think that they have all the answers and that if we do what they do, our life will be perfect. You know, there's a reason why they're called YouTube influencers. It's because they influence people, right? And it's kind of the deal here in this businessy world is that if we create this image that our lives are perfect and that we have it all figured out, then we can give advice and we can recommend products that people then buy so that we can make money. And I think it's important to recognize that when we are on social media platforms such as this, and to keep that in mind that there are motives separate from just trying to be a good person and give advice, and those motives come from money and fame and things like that. Um, and it's important to know that there is no one person on earth that knows everything. Um, And even if they seem confident, even if they tell you in complete confidence that they are correct, um, even if they come at you with all of these statistics and studies and research that seems accurate, so much of the time, those studies and research and accurate data, they end up getting debunked months or years later. Or there's a conflicting research article that says the opposite, and then one says it's misinformation and the other says the other one is misinformation, and it's hard to know which one is actually the misinformation. So even when you do research, you have to use your own critical thinking skills and your own heart in which one you think is true. You know, a lot of the time it might just be a balance in between the two conflicting things. And I think it's really important for young people, like teenagers, young 20s, to understand that no one has all the answers. It is easy to think grown-ups know everything, but they don't. And we're all pretty much just trying to figure things out. Some of us do it with more confidence than others. Some of us do it with less confidence than others. And that doesn't mean that one is more right than the other. It just means one person is more confident than the other. And when you're taking advice, it's important to check with yourself and make sure that it's in alignment with your heart and your mind and makes some kind of logical sense. And that if it isn't working, if you try it, if you try it out for yourself and you do it, whatever the advice is, and you incorporate it into your life and you try it for a couple weeks or so and it's not working and you're not getting the same results as they seem to have gotten, um, you don't have to keep doing it. Everybody's different, everybody's body's different, everybody's minds are different, everyone's living situation is different, and it's not all one size fits all, you know, blanketed advice that people tend to give, especially on social media. So if you try something that's not working, reassess, rethink it over. You don't have to go to usually there's polar opposites of ideas. The camera died, so maybe I shouldn't use that example. Maybe that was my sign. Um, so saying polar opposites, you don't need to go from one to the other a lot of the time. Maybe if it's not working and this way didn't work that much, maybe it's just you need something in the middle. And just because something worked for somebody else doesn't mean that it will work for you. And just because something didn't work for you doesn't mean it can't work for anybody. And when you're taking advice from somebody, I think the important thing to do is I'm really distracted because the battery light is blinking, so it's distracting me. So when you're taking advice, I think the important thing to do is to weigh the pros and the cons, because everything has pros and cons. Nothing is all pros, nothing is all cons. Everything has the pros and the cons. And so you weigh them, and then you decide which cons you are willing to live through. Always take a moment before you make a decision to really breathe, center yourself, not be reactive, and come to a decision in your own time when it feels good and helpful in some way. And I'll see you in the next video.